My man James Gunn came out. He had to spit them facts for those dudes who wasn't on the train. James Gunn said, I'm going to deliver you the roadmap to my vision of the DC universe. And he sat there and gave it out for free. Where are all the Gunny haters? Where is the Gunn haters? I haven't seen nobody go on that Twitter line saying, shut up, James Gunn. I don't like you. You got rid of Henry Cavill. No. James Gunn said, we want to merge animation, TV, and movies with all the same actors, with all the same voices, merge into one universe that's indistinguishable from this format to that format to that format. And that's how the format should grow. Attic, Tyler, is that a recipe for success or is it a recipe for destruction?
Well, go ahead and talk, Tyler. Make sure the people can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Are you unmuted?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Fantastic.
I think it's looking at this list, it's pretty good. There's a couple things in there I don't even know for somebody who reads DC Comics, but Booster Gold as a TV show, Superman, Batman with the new Robin. I think it's a recipe for success as long as they keep up with it. It's about finding the right actors. If they hire some people and things don't work out and then they're scrambling trying to figure out if they have to change people or what are they going to do, that's where the issues come in. So,
Tyler.
It's cool. So it's all right. So why he gets back, I have no clue what happened there. King,
Okay.
tell us the changes, man. There's a lot of changes going on.
James Gunn, probably he watched the Flash. He told you that Flash is the jumping off point for everything that's changing in the DCEU. He also told you that he's happy with Shazam. Shazam is a done film. They pushed those 3 films back which were done to slate them off into this year. So it's going to be Shazam, and then you're going to get the Flash, and then after Flash, Blue Beetle, and then you'll get Aquaman. He's very high on Blue Beetle. He feels that Blue Beetle can be his Peter Parker. He feels that Blue Beetle can be his Spider-Man. Remember, he says, as a kid, as a teenager, in this universe, he's going to position Blue Beetle, and he believes that he has the ability to turn Blue Beetle into a household name, because what he realized is that the DCEU needs a Spider-Man type figure, right? Something that's relatable to the children of the time and something that is topical enough that can spread like wildfire. Because children really can't identify with Superman. They damn sure can't identify with Batman. And little girls can look up to Wonder Woman, but they really can't identify with Wonder Woman until they're a little bit older. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get teenage level characters. And, you're going to do that because I heard his love for Damian Wayans. Now, I like what he said with Batman, where he's going to attack it from the Brave and the Bold standpoint, because the Brave and the Bold was some of my best comic books. Now, the Brave and the Bold usually had Green Arrow and Batman, or Green Lantern and Batman, but the Brave and the Bold usually was a team up. Marvel had Marvel 2-in-1 or Marvel Team Up, where the thing in Marvel 2-in-1 would team up with every hero, and Marvel Team Up was, Spider-Man and somebody usually. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to use that aspect of the Brave and the Bold and that storyline with Damian Wayne and Bruce Wayne, and going deeper into that character, because like he said, he loves the way that Robin is. He thinks that Robin is the best Robin. Now, what I feel James Gunn's best attributes is taking obscure characters that you know nothing about and making you feel for them. He has a couple of passion projects that he's looking at, and one of his first projects that he's bringing across. What was the name of the first project that he's bringing across? The animation. Do you remember? Because I can bring it up, but the first animation that he's doing, it's lesser known characters. But what he wants to do with these lesser known characters, the same way he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy, is make you care about characters that you never knew about. And then the reverence that he has for Supergirl, he gave you a distinct vision of how he sees Supergirl opposed to Superman. She didn't grow up and land with the Kent family, and she wasn't taught these morals and stuff like that. What she did was she saw a lot of her friends and families die, and she has a jaded outlook on the world. Now you're looking at a super being that has super class power like Superman and has a jaded outlook on life. So she's going to probably be a little bit rougher around the edges, not the soft Supergirl that we've been seeing. So I think he's taking that aspect with it. And then you have the Booster Gold TV series. I like Booster Gold. He explained his backstory.
I do got on the screen, guys. I do have a list of everything that's going on.
All right.
So we got Superman Legacy. That's going to be a film. I don't know if Tyler's back or not.
He's
go
back.
ahead and speak whenever when you can speak, Tyler. So that's going to be a film. We obviously knew they were going to bring Superman. Like, you can't have Superman. Well, you can't have DC without Superman. It's just how it is.
Right.
The Authority. I have no clue what that group is. None whatsoever.
That's one passion project.
Then we got Batman and the Brave and the Bold. What I'm curious is no origins. They're going straight to his kid.
Well, they don't need it no more. You know, the DC world, like he said, Shazam is here. These characters are here. So he doesn't have to tell you the same story that you know. We don't have to see Batman's family die over and over again. But what we didn't see is we didn't see Damian Wayne's story, right? So I think he's going to attack the Brave and the Bold through Damian Wayne's eyes and give you a version of Batman as a father instead of the complete Dark Knight. Right? Give you a different aspect of Bruce Wayne as he tries to have this young assassin become a little bit more civilized and deal with society, because you know he's rich, so he's a rich assassin. You have to change the mindset of the child because the child has been formulated to be this killing machine from a young age.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think he's going to take the same approach they did with Spider-Man, where if we've seen the backstory already, they're not going to keep showing it over and over. We've seen Batman's origins how many times? Yep. So I don't think there's any need to. We've never seen Damian. I'm assuming same with the Green Lanterns. If they're going to have Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart in there, I'm assuming we're not going to get any kind of origin story for that.
Do you think it's going to be a buddy cop film?
It might be. I don't know what the fascination is with making Green Lantern TV show. I feel like I feel like Green Lantern's a movie. Like Booster Gold, definitely TV show. Amanda Waller, definitely TV show. But I'm surprised. This is like the third time they've talked about making Green Lantern to a TV show, not a movie.
Do you think that that's WB pushing to have content?
No, I will give pushback on that. I will give pushback on that thought because how he said it, it's a crime thriller. And they're police officers, they're detectives, right? And they said the precinct is Earth.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you tell you can tell episodes, and it's this episode, this happened. I think it's a different take on a high character, but we also got to remember that as powerful as Green Lantern is, he's just a human, and he is tasked with taking over the what is it, this sector? I forgot the name of the sector, but that encompasses Earth, and then Jonathan Stewart takes over that part where he becomes the Phalanx.
So
So I don't know how he's going to attack that because you can't have two Green Lanterns occupying the same sector, right? There can only be one. So is it going to be that John Stewart is a rookie and he's getting ready to become detective in another galaxy and he's going to go off that way, or are they going to do it as Hal that's turning bad and he's a corrupt Green Lantern? How would they do the story? So I think they have something crafted in place that you can do it episodically as a TV show and work from there,
real
but it's cool.
real quick, when it comes to the lantern thing, I'm resulting to you two. You're the comic book people. I do have all the colors of Green Lanterns, like
They
on the
added so
screen.
many.
I I didn't know there was this many.
Yeah, they
Okay,
added
I
so
thought
many.
there was a yellow one and a green one. That's all.
That's how it used to be.
Okay, so I
That's a lot of
assume
them.
what I've been told is I assume they go off of certain emotions that you have.
You have
So
death.
Correct.
You have death, anger, envy, greed,
Agreed.
righteousness, holy, jealousy. Uh, I forgot what the other ones, but what you have to read is the story. I will tell you. I'm gonna send you a link to the whole storyline of the Darkest Night, and that is Green Lantern's greatest story,
So-
Great comics.
greatest story ever written.
just to clarify, we're looking at this. All right,
Right.
they're going to be a Lantern TV show, which I would agree with you, Tyler, 5 years ago. But I feel
Right.
like TV has gotten to the point where it might not rival a lot of movies, but I think it's in the same realm. Like you could tell, in a lot of cases, you could tell a better story than you can in movies. So, like to me, when you look at all these colors, obviously, and you said there can only be one Green Lantern in every sector. Now, do these rings have a society, or is it like one and done's with some of them? Like only one person got the black ring.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
no,
Power Rangers. Like
No. All right.
Except
So
for Orange, right? Unless they change that. Orange only has one user, as far as I knew. Because that's
All of-
greed.
yeah, that's greed. All of these lanterns are different groups. They don't mess with each other. All right. They don't mess with each other. I'm trying to give you the simplified version. I can tell you the complicated version, which is
No,
we
we
don't got a
don't,
show
no.
for that. But the simplified version is they all have their own groups. They're by themselves. They don't mess with each other. And 9 times out of 10, they're fighting each other.
All right, so now with that interception, because they said that TV show is going to be 2 lanterns. Is it 2 Green Lanterns?
Yes.
2 greens.
Okay, so
And
Do
he
you
said it's going to be other Green Lanterns.
so do you think that they will eventually try to sneak a lantern from a different color in this just to show variety in the show, or do you think they'll show that for maybe a movie that comes out after the show?
They said that the Green Lanterns lead to an overarching bigger story. I believe that's the Darkest Night. I believe, see, Marvel's biggest story was the Infinity Gauntlet. We already see Crisis on Infinite Earths with the TV show. I don't think James Gunn wants to tell that story if it's been told already. And no one's told the Darkest Night. So I believe that he's going to use the Green Lantern TV show to build up a larger base. Because remember, he said every actor that plays in whatever role it is going to be traversal throughout all of the stuff, throughout all forms of their media, which would be anime, TV, and movies. So I think they're going to build up the characters all the way straight to the Darkest Night, and they're going to culminate in that, and that's going to be his Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet, because that story is that big.
Yeah, that'd be nuts if they put that on film.
So,
What?
question to you guys: this Swamp Thing. That's the only one that they said that didn't seem like it mattered. It seemed like that was a
Oh no,
passion
it matters.
project for someone. Who was the Swamp Thing? Is it a DC villain that they're making a movie about? Like,
You didn't see the Swamp Thing, when they had it right. That was a psychological thriller too. um, he's a tortured soul that is trapped in the Swamp Thing's body, and he is supposed to free. Oh, he's like he. Okay, him and Man Thing are the same. Man Thing is inside Marvel. Swamp Thing is inside DC, right? And if you saw Werewolf by Night, the Man Thing and Swamp Thing is pretty much the same. I just feel that, but they're both intelligent. I was just gonna say, I thought that the Swamp Thing was a little bit more intelligent than Man Thing. Man Thing's a little bit more lumbering, and Swamp Thing has a little bit more purpose with the people that he goes and he's like Groot, but lives in the
okay.
swamp, but he has different kind of
So,
powers. So, but
uh,
he's a tortured soul.
so would you guys assume that these films, these top five, Superman, The Authority, Batman, Supergirl, and Swamp Thing is like well, maybe not Swamp Thing, I don't know, depending on how important, I don't know anything about him. Do you think that's going to be like the foundation that the future of DC films stand on?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. They're trying to hit every corner of the DC universe because with Swamp Thing, he's more of the like mystical Constantine, uh the more mystical kind of people where you have Batman with the detective, the human kind of aspect of the Earth heroes, Superman, Green Lanterns. It feels like they're trying to hit like at least one cornerstone of each part of the DC universe that they can build off this one main character and go into build into a bigger story. Darkest Night, whatever the story may be. And yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know anything about Creature Commandos or the Authority.
Passion
So
projects.
yeah,
Passion
so
project.
I couldn't tell you where those fit, but
So do just to clarify, do you guys think that like it's good they're gonna run you know what I really liked about this that even Marvel won't do? They're if any of these characters, they're like, look, like we're gonna run TV, movies, and games, and they're all gonna be the same universe.
Yep.
And that's bold. Because now if someone makes an animated thing, you have to make sure that they can voice it on top of doing anything they're doing currently. Like, you know, you guys are right, man. James Gunn might be the person, man. He might be that guy.
I told you I'm right 98% of the time. And I knew he was the guy. We wouldn't have got the piss poor phase 4 if they would have let James Gunn do what he was supposed to do. But different when one door closes, another door opens, different opportunities. And I'm just excited that he's excited. I'm excited that he's sitting there with Stewart and they're going over everything and they're planning out an 8 to 10 year plan for what's coming next. And he said HBO Max, so I think he's going to try to deliver enough content to keep HBO Max still going. I heard they were supposed to be defunct and it was supposed to be just under HBO umbrella, but who knows? You know, maybe we can stop hearing about people screaming for the Snyderverse and the Snyder situation, and we can just dig into what he has on the plate because the real proving point is going to be the Blue Beetle movie because that's going to be his movie, right?
When does that come
Shazam
out?
is not his, Flash is not his, Aquaman isn't his, but that Blue Beetle movie, that's his, and we're going to judge him based on that Blue Beetle movie.
I think they're still filming, so it should probably be next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when that comes out?
Yep.
So I worked during the day, so I only saw a brief clip of him talking. And that's what got me excited is you watch James Gunn talk about these and he looks excited for this. He has his fingers and everything. And I already thought he was going to be good, but seeing him in the one clip I saw talking about it, every single thing he put out there, he looks excited, he looks ready, he wants to do this. He handpicked each one of these characters. I think it's going to be good. I think the hardest part might be the casting part because
Yep.
this is going to be a long haul. You sign one of these contracts, you're not doing anything else. If you're doing video games, TV, movies, like it's gonna be a busier schedule than Marvel has their people on right now.
Yeah, because they're cross. They're pretty much, and if you think about it, King and Tyler, that's a genius move because not only are you captivating on a TV aspect and movie aspect, you're also bringing that over to the animated thing. And if you look at it, Marvel did the TV thing like years into it. And they're doing it from the start.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Voice actors that don't do acting, are they going to be in uproar?
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought about it in the aspect of continuity. Now you're breaking the norm because let's say you take Chris Evans, and I mean, Marvel did it with Marvel Zombies, right? Or the What If. They had the voice actors that acted the actual characters, and they went back and they voice acted the characters in What If. But you're talking about taking one of those shows, taking those characters, and possibly crossing them over to a TV show, which probably be inside the Green Lanterns, and taking them and putting them on the big screen. Now, we don't get TV actors crossing over to the big screen. That's a huge taboo. We don't get voice actors that can actually act their character on the big screen and on terrestrial television. So what he is doing is he's breaking down norms, but is he causing a rift in the voice acting community? Because people that stake their lives on, well, the voice of Batman, right? Well, now, if you can't act on the TV and act in the movies, we can't use you.
Do you think that's going to encourage people to get better? Do you think that would actually hurt them casting because now they have to have a specific type of person that's willing to do that? Because if you think about it, especially if they're big on the games where they want to build a gaming universe with the actual DC universe,
right?
That means you're going to have to get someone that's willing to do mocap, most likely. Because they're going to want them to look. They're going to want them to look similar. So that means you have to during the interview thing. It's going to be like, have you ever voiced animation? No. Next. Have you ever acted in a movie? No. Next.
Like,
have you ever mocapped in a video game? No. Next.
Like, are you willing to though?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. You're gonna have to have the actor, and we know that we're gonna get great actors and actresses because they are going to be knee deep, 100% invested into this character.
I think it is going to matter too on how much the funding is. Like right now, it's going to be crazy going out the gate. But if I'm concerned that in a couple movies that they're not seeing a return that they would expect supposed to be high. Like I'm hoping James Gunn has humbled them and like, look, your last stuff ain't doing it. You tried it for years. You have to work with me. We're not going to come out the gate swinging fences. But if you give me a few years of doing this, I can promise you a semi-return like Marvel has. But you got to stick with me. You can't just cut funding because this movie didn't do as good as this movie. Like I'm concerned of that.
I think that's the biggest concern is WB, just with their history and the way that they love to stick their nose into things. I think that's probably my biggest concern is what kind of leash does he have and how much are they willing to step back? Yes.
Well, we already saw how much power he has. He got rid of the Rock. We got 79 people. We got 37 likes. Like my man AKW said, hit that like button and share it out to your friends because the main event is about to begin.
Yeah, we're about to talk about The Last of Us. So, Tyler, do you want to stick around for The Last of Us thing?
Sure.
Is that okay with you, King?
Oh yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
So, all right. All
hold
right
on, hold
now.
on. I'm